Welcome, and in this video I'm going to be speaking to trauma, the four main trauma responses, our nervous system, and ways to flag the trauma responses and to support the nervous system so that we can continue to live our best and most vibrant life and existence here on earth. So, of course, this topic is quite large and complicated and multifaceted and complex. And also, if you are watching this video right now, it's quite possible that your nervous system may be activated. And there are certainly many levels of the nervous system in terms of it's a spectrum of how activated or relaxed the nervous system is. So just as an invitation before we continue on, I invite you to close down your eyes and check in with your body. And just as a way of being able to bring your nervous system into more parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest part of your system, taking a deep breath through the nose for 4 counts. And then out the mouth for 8 counts. So you can keep doing this through the video if you would like. So with trauma, there is what has often been called the big T traumas, which are things like war, sexual abuse, death, etc. And then there's also what they call little t traumas, which can be moving house, breaking up with a beloved. And in terms of the nervous system and how it responds, it could be that the trigger or whatever is creating the traumatic response in the body can be anything, and it could have a really huge response in the body or a really little response. And depending on where your nervous system is at any particular point in time, if something else comes on top of that as another stressor, then it can blow the experience to a whole nother level. And so gaining awareness and being so in tune with your own nervous system and your level of safety at any point in your life, from moment to moment to moment to moment, cannot be understated. This is so crucial for us to be able to live a life where we have all of our brain on and accessible in every moment so that we can be in a relaxed state, we can respond rather than react. So there is no human on this planet that hasn't experienced some form of trauma. And so we can go around saying, oh, my trauma's not as bad as your trauma, or your trauma's worse than my trauma, so I shouldn't experience this, what I'm experiencing. That can all just be irrelevant right now. Because if you are having a traumatic response in your nervous system, it's real, right? Let's take a breath on that. And so how do we notice whether we're in a traumatic response? And then how do we move through it and regulate the nervous system? So the 4 main responses are fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Fawn is the least commonly known one. I'll start at the beginning. So fight or it might have been flight that I said fight, let's go with fight, is exactly how it sounds. If your nervous system is responding to whatever impetus it is and the fear is rising up in the body, and you go to attack that person or that thing or whatever it is, it can be with words, it can be physically, that's a form of like, I'm action taking right now, and it's kind of like escalated, it's reacting, it's over and above what potentially is necessary at that point because it's activating your whole nervous system. Flight is like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, like ASAP. I'm in danger, I'm in trouble, my safety system does not feel safe, let's go. Freeze, like stunned mullet. I can't speak, I can't move my body, and this may happen on the spectrum, just feeling into everything as a spectrum, you know, it can be really subtle or it can be like really obvious. So freeze. And then fawn is the potentially less obvious one, because this means that you are taking the attention away from yourself and your experience and you're placing it onto everyone around you, meaning that you are fawning for, like, say, your children or caring for other people. You're putting all of your attention and focus to support others so you don't have to look at your own stuff, if that makes sense. Okay, so with all of these laid out, maybe you're already getting a sense of what your most common response is. Fighting, attacking, flight, desire to run away, or actually running away. Freezing, unable to speak, unable to move, and unable to take action. Or putting all your attention towards others and supporting them. And so, as I mentioned before, this can be really happening at a really subtle level and almost like, you know, you don't even know whether it's happening, or it can be like, I'm clearly not in a calm and regulated state. So being able to notice if you may potentially never have experienced consciously a completely calm and regulated nervous system. If you have, I invite you to feel into that now, what it was like at the time that you experienced that. Maybe where you were, maybe it was in a meditation, maybe it was in yoga, maybe it was when you just were going to bed or waking up in the morning, just completely when you're on holidays, when you're reading a book, where your nervous system was just completely relaxed and calm. If you don't feel like you've experienced that ever or in a while, and that your nervous system is always feeling like it's operating at like a higher capacity or like on alert more often than not, and you don't feel like you can fully surrender and fully relax into life, then it can be challenging to have this like reference point of what your nervous system can reside at. So inviting you again to take a deep breath in. Make the exhale double the length. And invite you to just imagine the whole body is being covered with a deeply loving, embracing, caressing white light, a cloak of love and calm all around and over you. And perhaps in this breathing and in this visualization, don't worry if you can't fully visualize it, just starting to feel like you can get a sense of it. And just notice if there's any shifting in your nervous system at all, in your experience as you breathe and let go. I am safe, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. And so perhaps with this little bit of an example, you get to see a little bit of the difference between the moment before and the moment within, and the moment now, and how your nervous system is continuously changing. You can, if I did something that was, may have shocked you, that could create like a flood of these hormones through the body, like cortisol, that rattle through us, and that's how it takes over the heart rate, the breath increasing. And so if we're living in a continued state of this, even if it's at, a lower level state of continued stress, this is how we're then navigating life on a daily basis. So again, the importance of becoming skilled, becoming masterful at regulating your own nervous system, knowing what you need in every moment to come back to a place of peace is so crucial. And of course, takes so much practice, compassion. So let's journey into some ways that you can help to support your nervous system. As I'm saying this, you probably already have some ideas or things that you already do to support you. For instance, that mini breath and meditation we did a moment ago. Perhaps it's something that you are skilled at, or you do call upon often, is focusing on the breath. Conscious breathing cannot be understated in this world where often we are shallow breathing, chest breathing, fast breathing. So some guidance here is slow everything down. Like, how much can we slow everything down? Slowing creates safety. Slowing it down. Softness. How can we bring in more softness into our experience? I've touched this and that's another perfect example, like a beautiful, comfortable piece of clothing or a rug or a wrap that can help you feel held and supported, and a soft cuddle for yourself. And sensual feels like it's coming in as well, for how can you bring it back to the senses, the primal level of supporting yourself, because when your nervous system is overwhelmed, you actually lose parts of your brain and it flips into the more primal part of your brain, so you don't have access to your ability to know what you need at that point, which is why the practice and the systems and the structures that you have in place for yourself to support you are so crucial, so that when you do lose half your brain, you have things around you that can help anchor you and bring you back into the moment. And so when I say sensual and senses, it's coming back to the basics of, okay, this trigger has come up. I'm noticing myself in this activated nervous system response. How can I come back to the moment and the presence? And say, for instance, touching yourself, breathing, holding, like I mentioned before, hugging yourself. These are ways, of course, that you can do it solo, like just with yourself, using music. Music is a potent and powerful, using your own sighs. Or song, or sound, or instruments if you have them. Sound. And then beyond your own personal space and your own capacity, you may be being called forward to ask another to support you, and co-regulation is so powerful. So if you have someone in your life that you can call forward, it could be a partner or it could be children, could be a friend, to come in and help to hold you. And in this, I want to reiterate, there's no shame on your experience of having a trauma response or your nervous system getting overactivated. I mean, we're living in a world that is so stimulating and there's so much going on, there's so much noise and chaos that, generally speaking, we are living in a constant, like at least a mini state of stress daily. It takes a very skilled and masterful human to be able to have constant awareness of where they're at and be able to be in this state of having full access to everything and being in the ease and in the flow. So this is an art, and bringing it back to compassion. If you do notice yourself judging yourself, criticizing yourself for being in a spiral again or again and again, and recognizing that it's all perfect, like where you're at is perfect, and you get to recognize this as an opportunity, that once again this is happening for you so that you get a chance to become more masterful at regulating your own nervous system and living in a state of peace and ease and joy and flow and magic, if that is what you desire. So yes, if you call on someone else to support you, you can bring them in ways and say, look, I'm feeling really edgy, agitated, activated, frustrated right now, whatever it is for you. And I would really love you to just be with me here in the same space, witness me. I would love you to hold me in any particular way, be specific with what you might need. If you don't know what you need, you can open yourself to trust whatever their intuition is coming through for you. And allow yourself to, so some examples, if you did come into an embrace together, you can breathe together and let their breath help to regulate your own breath, and the heartbeat to regulate your own heartbeat, creating this coherence. A bath just came in right then. Again, the warmth, softness, things that are cozy and supportive for you. So I invite you to, in this video or beyond the video, to be with where you're at currently, and almost do like an intake or an assessment, an awareness point of where you're at right now in your nervous system. Do you feel like you're kind of like on higher alert, or your body's kind of shaking, your heart's going faster, there's agitation, or there's like constant thought patterns, or feels like it's riding through your vessel on any level? And then just being with yourself, and maybe you want to grab your journal and start to write what you're experiencing, and just keep it like that. Keep it as like, what are the thoughts coming through? What are you feeling in your body? And allowing yourself to recognize, am I in a trauma response right now? Is my nervous system really activated right now? And then flowing on from that, what do I feel like are the ways I can support myself right now? When you serve yourself and you honor yourself, you then get to honor everything around you, all of life, your children, your friends, your partner, colleagues, everyone around you benefits when your nervous system is calm and regulated. They get the full version of you that has access to all parts of your brain and more awareness of everything that's going on in every moment. Okay, so the invitation is open for that, the journaling practice, and then flowing on into actually supporting yourself, actually giving yourself the space and the time to support yourself, or ask for the support that you may need or feel you desire. I hope this was helpful. Sending you so much love. And I'll see you next time.